Thanks, Eric.
All right. Welcome. NorCal Sports Network. Giants postgame. Giants get a win with the rookies. 7 rookies tonight in the lineup. 2-1 victory. Tyler Fitzgerald goes deep off Kershaw. Kai Correa gets his first win as a big league manager. Can always say that when he gets 6 feet tall. I mean, when he grows up.
No, Mark.
No, when he gets, hey, something to have, man. Not bad. You always tell your grandkids someday, hey, I won a big league game as a manager. So hopefully he gets no more than 2 in his Giants career. If he gets 1 tomorrow, fine. Just don't give him another shot at 24. That would be so Giants.
It would be, wouldn't it?
If they did that, man, that would be nuts. But anyway,
hey, D-Shaw wants to know, you going to go to any D-backs playoff games?
If they have any, they're not having any in the first round at home.
Yeah, true.
They're going to be in Philly or Milwaukee. My guess is they don't get past either one of them. Milwaukee's got 3 tough pitchers playing at home. Philadelphia, tough. They could upset somebody. I mean, if they had upset somebody, let's see. If they get the 6th spot, then they would be playing LA because the 3-6 winner plays the 2, which is would be Arizona. LA. Anyway, it's we'll see. I mean, what happens? MF says Bochy getting hammered right now. I don't know about that. They got to win tomorrow. They got to win a big game tomorrow to win the division. A Rangers loss tomorrow and a Astros win gives the division to the Astros. And you don't want to go wild card and go that route, 3 games on the road, because they would finish 5th, and then they'd have to go play Tampa Bay, 3 games in Tampa Bay. Not that they can't beat Tampa Bay, but much better to have a 5-game series with the home field advantage and a few days off. So I think the Rangers got to come back tomorrow and, got to win. You can't count on the Diamondbacks showing up tomorrow. They have nothing to play for. Mariners have nothing to play for. So both the Astros and the Rangers are playing teams that were eliminated, or not eliminated. The Astros, the Diamondbacks weren't eliminated, but they're in. It depends on what they, what happens tomorrow, I guess. I'm Toronto tomorrow. Not Toronto. Yeah, Toronto. They're in. I'm losing that game, man. I don't want to. I'm playing all my rookies tomorrow. I'm giving my vets a rest because I got a game in 2-3 days after tomorrow. And I want to finish 6th and play the Minnesota Twins. I don't want to finish 5th and go down and play Tampa Bay if I'm Toronto. They're just finishing up with Tampa Bay. And you don't want to play them like 7 games in a row or 6 games in a row,
Right.
Plus Minnesota's much more easier foe, I think, to go up against than say Tampa Bay. But I don't know. Not much to really get all that excited about. Our excitement was yesterday.
Yeah, I know, right?
I do want to put together a montage of Farhan's
all his comments
all his
Yep.
comments. I want to put a video together somehow. If anybody knows how to do, you know how to do that at all, Eric, to splice that and put that together?
I should be able to. Like I said, though, I don't know how. A lot of the comments aren't like.
Hey, anybody, send me your clips of Farhan. All the clips. If you could direct
there's any
message
video of
me on Twitter or email me at NorCalSportsNetwork@gmail. I'll put that up in the chat here. One sec. Email me anything you got on.
What's this?
Talking about typing. I can't talk at the same time. NorCal Sports Network at Gmail. Yeah, either email me there or yeah, that'd be great because then I can put those NorCal Sports Network at gmail.com. I can put these clips together. What we're trying to do is get Farhan saying, or if it's in print, you got it in print, send it. If videos would be great, but he's been on
Finding the print will be a much easier video because I think a lot of the comments he said probably wasn't videoed.
Yeah.
So I know what I'm saying. So,
but
we could put things together where we just could splice together, the comments that he made, and
Well,
go from there.
what I want to do is I want to prove that Farhan is speaking out of both sides of his mouth, and he should be let go. He has said that free agents won't come here because the city, something about the city, and he said the ballpark, and it's tough to get free agents here. And he's said, we're going to make trades, we're going to be active, and then he does nothing. He said so many things that contradict himself. And I want to, there's Boch on, hey, let's see if we can hear Boch in, let's see if I can pull this up here.
All right, real quick. I like Matthew Brittingham said, hey, Dan and Eric, did you guys see the comment I wrote today about Jim Riley at Ballcap? That guy's, he's got a good channel. I'm subscribed to him. He does a really good job. He wants to do I'm guessing that's a collab. Oh, there we go. Cool.
Who wants to do a collab?
There we go. He wants to do a collab from a Giants fan point of view about the firing of Kapler. He was talking about Hum Baby, but I told him NorCal would be much better because you guys know a lot more about Kapler. Yeah. Heck yeah. That guy's got over 30,000 subs and he's specifically baseball. Yeah.
We'd love to set it up. How do we do it?
I think you could tweet, you send him a direct message maybe. I think it's Jim Riley at Ballcap Sport or something like that. If you go to
let me see if I can find it real quick.
He might even want to come on. You never know.
Jim, wait a minute.
Jim Riley, I think it's Ballcap Sports. If you look up YouTube, I'm sure if you
is he on Twitter or?
Hold on one second. Yeah, he definitely is on Twitter. Let me bring up his channel. I'm pretty sure all his socials are in the description. Hold on one sec.
Ballcap.
Yeah, he does a good job. He's a Blue Jays.
Jim Riley.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
If he has a direct message, hit him up. He's really good. He covers all of baseball. He's a Blue Jays fan, but he does the whole thing. He does a good job.
Okay, direct message here. Let's see if I can.
Yeah, he's good stuff.
I do not see a direct message for him. I don't know how to. I guess I gotta.
I don't know if he has an email. Maybe does he have an email in his? I bet you he does.
YouTube.com user. Let's see. See if I can find that. I do not see a direct message. So
let me look here.
Hey Matthew, do me. I'll have to send him a direct message, or not a direct message, but just a.
There's his Twitter
message in there.
Yeah, I don't know if he has a. Wait, just his Twitter.
Yeah, I see his Twitter. I've seen him do stuff. Yeah. I've seen him on YouTube a lot.
All right. Hey, I got his email. Here.
Oh, okay. Well, just put it in the private and
yeah, that's what I'll do right now.
Hold on, and then we'll
send
get
him
that.
off an email. Yeah, because
Mark Graves just put it up. Twitter.com. Where's that the email? I don't know if that's the email or not. No, anyway, we'll reach out to him and see if we can get a collab going. Where was I going?
We were talking about Farhan before.
Oh yeah, with Farhan. The thing about him that I want to put together is all of the stuff that he's been,
the lies.
Yeah, just constant. But I do want to play a little Boach real quick here. Let's see if is the screen sharing?
Yep.
All right, let's see if we can pick this up here.
Let me hold on one second. Hold on one second before you do that. All right.
Here we go. Here we go.
No, don't play it yet.
Hold on. What are you doing? Oh, you're gonna put this up?
Yeah, just to make sure. I don't know what it just says. Texas Rangers.
I don't know what this. What is this?
Playoff berth. Hold on. That's pretty awesome, man. He's first year back, and he's in the playoffs again.
Yeah. Look what ownership did for him too. They went out and got people.
Yeah, they didn't mess around.
Disgusting what the Giants have done.
Yep, and I'm going to get into. There's something else I want to get into that.
Tomorrow I really hope that the Giants do a good send off with Crawford, and how I would do that, man. Whatever inning, how many ever innings he could play. I don't know if he's full strength. Maybe it's 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th inning. Just let him run off the field to a standing ovation.
Supposedly there was information that people want to stick around for the end of the game. Don't know what's going to happen, but I think Susan Slusser put that out on a tweet.
Maybe he's going to announce his retirement.
Maybe.
Shoot. What did I hit?
You bounced out of it.
I got it. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah, go for it. We're missing. Just back it up.
Big victories.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go. I know we got some work to do, but you celebrate big victories, and this is a huge one. We started in spring training. We're heading to the postseason. Enjoy, savor this. Got a little more work to do. We're going to celebrate, though. Congrats on going to postseason, everybody. Here we go.
There it is.
I know we got some work to do.
Yeah, Bochy's been involved in a couple of those, huh?
And this is a huge one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Gosh, man.
I want to.
Did you hear the whole interview with Ned on Larry's channel yesterday?
Which interview?
With Ned on the phone.
I did. Yeah, I did.
Did you hear what he said? He's like, how can you get rid of Sabian and Bochy, who's brought so many victories and championships to an organization, a winning quote unquote culture, and how you just can let them go? I don't get it. I understand maybe Bochy needed to take some time off, and Ned even said that. So these guys, maybe they needed just a year or two reset, to kind of work on themselves, and then they come back strong. Why would you get rid of them?
Yeah, unbelievable. It really is. All right, here's my comment on Farhan and why I want to put together something with Farhan. This says, why does the media not hold this guy accountable? I'm sick and tired of the lies. Let's be real and call it what it is. He lies. He said they were going to go be very active at the trade deadline. Nothing. He said free agents don't want to come here because of the city and the ballpark. The doublespeak goes on and on. I've limited space to point out all the examples. Come on, media members. Speak out and demand better and send this guy packing. I love the Giants. Have been a diehard fan for 54 years and a former season ticket holder. Let's get to the top. Let's get a top flight leader, one who has credibility and gravitas. Please, can't take this Farhan and his constant BS anymore. Does anyone remember the boy who cried wolf? Spread the word. Let's get the San Francisco Giants back on top with real leadership. And instead of Ned Coletti, Buster Posey led up front office would serve notice that the Giants owners means business. No one knows the Dodgers or Giants orgs better than Ned, and he knows how to deal with the Scott Boras types of the baseball world. What prompted me to say all that? Listening to this crap right here.
That reputation, and what are the challenges that might come with that when you kind of have basically one guaranteed year left here with this organization?
Yeah, I'm not concerned about our reputation with free agents. I don't mean that to sound arrogant or like we're out of touch. As we said earlier, when talking about the manager search, this is a great ballpark. This is a great city to play in. This is a great organization. And I know a lot of players would be excited to put this uniform on. So
then you didn't. Why'd you sign all the crappy ones?
I have conversations with agents all the time about the players they have on this team, what might be happening over the offseason.
Full of it.
And I know we're going to get a lot of engagement from players that, may be available, very confident in that.
How do you kind of go about repairing that reputation, and what are the challenges that might come with that when you kind of have basically one?
I can't even stand to hear his voice. It's just sickening. He just says crap just to say it. He doesn't know what he's doing. I heard hiring a manager. He says he doesn't even know what he's looking for. I heard Ned, when Larry was talking to him, when he says when he lost a manager, he was like right away, he knew what he was looking for. When you fire a manager, like when he had let go Grady Little. Hold on here. I got the commissioner calling me. So what are you doing, Eric? Reading?
Oh, yeah. Reading, listening.
Take over, Eric. I'm on the phone.
Okay, got it. All right. To kind of piggyback on what Dan's saying, I mean, I've been saying it all year. The guy's a liar, and I'm not going to get fooled again. And what I can't understand is how can the organization put trust in him in one of the most, and we talked about this yesterday. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it's going to be one of the most important off seasons for the San Francisco Giants in a long time. And I don't know if I want to put faith in Farhan after his 5 years of being the big guy for the San Francisco Giants and trying to get some of these deals done. I just don't have faith, and I don't see it changing. How can it change? He is who he is. Dan touched on that yesterday. And I don't see a drastic change happening. And if there is a drastic change, then it shows me that the guy's, fake. Why didn't he do that in the last 5 years? Why is he doing it now? To save his skin. And, it's one thing to make moves and change kind of your way because you're worried about your job. It should be inherent in you, especially as a GM. You got to have certain attributes as a GM. You just can't go and willy-nilly just change in how you operate. He is who he is. And unfortunately, what he's done with the San Francisco Giants hasn't been a good job. I don't want him back, and I don't know how you can bring him back. There's another thing I want to get on here, and I want to have Dan listen in on this as well when we get to it. But whatever, I'll get into it later. It's gonna have to do with the rookies that were up this year, and I'll get into that in a bit. Let's see. Mark Graves says, Eric, I have a feeling Johnson only looks at the paperwork and not the product. Otherwise, Farhan would be gone as well. I don't know. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors. It's possible that Johnson's doing something. That's what I think. And I think it was perfect that, ownership had Farhan have to fire his best buddy. I think that was purposeful. No doubt about it. No one could convince me otherwise that ownership didn't wanted Farhan to do the dirty work, so to speak, to make him fire his cohort, if you will. Let's see. This is what Ballcat fans need to hear. Most fans don't understand. Even Giants fans don't. Yeah, it's true. And I appreciate the the support there, Matthew, and bringing us up on other people's channels. I appreciate it. Yeah, I would love to talk to Riley. He's really good. I like listening to him. He does a really good job. So Aussie rules. As much as we don't like Farhan, this is the PR talk of GM is supposed to say. Yeah, I get that. I understand that. But problem is, Aussie, he hasn't done anything to back some of the stuff up. There's some stuff that he goes out there and says that necessarily isn't PR. It kind of is, kind of isn't. But he's never walked the walk. He has never done that. And I can't see that he ever does. And it makes more sense. If you're going to have Farhan come back for one more year, why don't you just have Kapler finish out that year as well? Because now you've made things more complicated when you fire Kapler and you keep Farhan instead of just getting them both rid of end of next year, because they probably would have failed next year anyways. Granted, it probably would have been devastating to the organization. That's probably why they pulled the trigger. But I don't think it's done yet. Honestly, I don't think it's done yet. I think Farhan is still. And here's another thing. I was thinking about this earlier today. If they don't fire him now, it makes me wonder. It makes me wonder that after when the not the trade deadline, but when the offseason comes around, you got the winter meetings. If the Giants don't do jack shit during the offseason, he may get fired before spring training. They may say, you failed again. Now you're done. You're not going to even make it into the beginning of next season. That's a highly possible situation that could happen. Maybe they're going to say, okay, let's see what you do in this offseason. If you can't get it done, then you're done. Or you just say, go ahead and just turn over the keys now, and then we'll just find somebody else. I mean, that's not the optimal. The most optimal thing to do is, have all your guys set up before the winter meetings. But I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. Let's see. Splash God, haven't seen you in here, but welcome to the show. I appreciate it. It says it feels Farhan was scared of losing his job by taking risks Bobby Evans took with Melanson, McCutcheon, and Longoria. Yeah, I guarantee you he's scared. If you listen to into his press conference yesterday, you could tell he's nervous. He's definitely anxious. And they probably said in no uncertain terms, what the future holds for him. But I think, again, I think you have to get rid of both of them. You have to. Kapler was a horrible field manager, and Farhan has been horrible in the organization in a whole. From everything, from trades, from free agency, from, he's done okay in the draft, strategy, tactics, whatever it may be. Complete failure. Are you back, Dan?
Yeah, I'm back.
Hey, real quick. This is something I started thinking about earlier. Okay. This is probably the 1 year that the Giants had where they had a significant amount of rookies on the roster this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, it's criminal to have these rookies come up. You're up in the major leagues with the San Francisco Giants, and once you get up here, you're fending for yourself. You don't have a manager who's interacting with you. He's hands off. He's just going to granted the veterans, they got their role in the clubhouse. There's no doubt about it. But how can you have rookies come up and you're not guiding them? And that's criminal. What type of development are you giving these rookies when they're coming up? They're getting their first taste of the big leagues, and you're negligent. You're missing in action. That's ridiculous. That's uncalled for.
That's it. That's Farhan's fault too.
Exactly. That's why this guy's got to be gone.
He's got to go. I mean, Farhan is not a leader. Okay. Period. I'm so frustrated. I mean, I don't know who sees this, who watches us, as far as who, but somebody's got to get this out to the Giants brass that is making decisions. He's not a leader. If he was, he would have been all over Gabe, and he would have had his butt out of town a long time ago. But Farhan's insecure. He knew that Gabe was his buddy and that Gabe wasn't going to give him any crap. I mean, and, Gabe's not going to fight back. And he's just, Farhan picked a weak man in Kapler as far as people skills. I'm not saying he's a weak man. I'm just saying weak people skills. Kapler's not a confrontation type guy. We saw him the other night argue with Correa and then walk down away from him instead of just stand there, and he doesn't like conflict. And he's not a guy that he talks one-on-ones. He doesn't do team meetings. He's not in the clubhouse. I'm not saying that Gabe can't get things across one-on-one to players, but sometimes you got to step up into the clubhouse and show your presence. So I agree with that, Lou. Farhan and Larry Bear both need to go. Don't care about the fans. All they do is lie. Exactly. They lie. And they need to run these guys' butts out of town and don't let the door hit you on the way out, because get these guys out of there. They're a cancer to the organization. I don't care how long they've been there with Bear or whatever. Bring in fresh new guys. Get this thing to the place where it's, we got all these statements and this and that to the fans. And it is a rotten situation there. Logan Webb said it. The culture needs big changes. You had a great culture when you had Boch and Sabian there running the show. Prior to that, you had Dusty running the show in the 90s, and you had Boch and Ned Colletti taking over. This was a team that was competing for division championships from 97 on. They were competing through 04 for playoff hunts for 8 straight seasons. And then in 05 to 08, they had a pretty rough downturn, started to turn it around in 09, had a winning record. And then the rest is history. From 10 to 16, you saw 4 playoff appearances and 3 world championships, 10, 12, 14, and then 16, the exit to the Cubs. But come on. Now you go from 16 to 23, and in 9 years, you make the playoffs twice, 16 and 21. That's it. And we looked at the thing the other night. We saw several organizations making 4 or 5 playoff appearances in that 9-year period, and a lot of them in much smaller markets like Milwaukee, Cleveland, Tampa Bay, making more appearances than the Giants. And the Giants have all this money, and they got all these retreads, all older guys that are just not worth anything at this point.
Hey, this is interesting, Dan. MF says, my dad heard Farhan is out from this season from a ticket friend. You know what's interesting? I saw that same comment in Larry's channel yesterday from Jim Mollet, saying that he may be onto something because he's a season ticket holder as well. Lou Marston, I know you're a season ticket holder. Have you heard any of those rumblings that these guys are hearing as well? It seems like the season ticket holders seem to have a little bit of the inside scoop of what may or may not happen. And here's another thing.
I don't think they get inside scoops unless their ticket, that stuff's, unless they know somebody.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah. They're not getting it from a season ticket just because they're a season ticket holder. Otherwise you'd have 8,000 people knowing.
Yeah. Good point. Or maybe it's certain season ticket holders, I guess. But here's another thing. What type of leverage does Farhan have going into the offseason? All these other clubs have seen the bad press in San Francisco. You got Tom Verducci talking about, how bad San Francisco baseball is. You think they're going to negotiate? They're going to be from Farhan because they know he's back. He's backed in the corner.
He's desperate.
He's going to be desperate. Exactly.
Yeah, you don't want a guy that's desperate making the decisions.
And that's another thing. I don't think ownership is going to give him the tools to get some of these deals done, because I think they're probably afraid he may do something stupid. I don't think so.
Just
but you
bring
never
somebody
know.
in that you trust.
Just do that. Just start all over.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of GMs that could, but just bring somebody in with experience. Don't bring in a Farhan, please. I don't want a rookie running the Giants organization as a GM. Okay, you cannot take a shot on a rookie manager or a rookie GM. You got to get someone with clout. And if you're going to go rookie manager, you better go with somebody who's got a lot of gravitas, a Yadier Molina type, or a Ron Wotus. He's never managed in the big leagues, but he's been in the organization. He's been a minor league manager, knows the club well. We don't need Kai Correa running the ship, or Espada, the guy with the Astros, or whoever he's with now, or George, whatever it is, Lombardo or whatever. We don't go there. To me, I would go with someone who's, if you're not going to go Melvin, an interesting name I heard, and believe it or not, this came from Carlos, what's his name on it? Ramirez. He mentioned Bam Bam Mullins because he was a hitting coach with the Giants for 7-8 years, won 3 world titles, but he speaks, get this, he speaks Spanish and Japanese. Imagine the ability to communicate with your Spanish-speaking players, and if you went and signed a couple of Japanese guys that are made available and got that, or you got Ohtani, something like that, man, that would be pretty nice. I don't know Bam Bam's, ability to manage and all that stuff. I don't know what type of communicator he is, but the fact that he's got all those languages, that's not bad. That would be a pretty good. That might get you in the door with some of these Japanese players. Imagine a coach being able to talk to you, your manager, in your language.
That does definitely have a benefit, but I want someone, I mean, I don't want kind of gimmicky stuff. And I'm not saying it's gimmicky, but I want someone who's going to run the club and knows how to play baseball. That's
well,
what
Bam Bam's, played ball, and he's a hitting instructor, and he's been around the Giants organization. He's not bad. Joe Madden, I don't know if how he would be.
They're too much. He's too much like Farhan.
Yeah.
No.
I say, gosh.
I don't know, man. I mean, honestly, what I would do as far as manager, let the general manager or the president of baseball operations, let them make that decision. That's their job. And I put my trust. If it's going to be Ned Coletti, I'll put my trust that he can find the right manager for the job. He's even talked about it before. Sometimes you got to hire managers depending on where your club is.
Hey, what's up, Milk?
What's that? Oh, I got you.
Are you listening? Eric's in another world tonight.
I was like,
look at him. He's dazed. He looks dazed. I said, hey, what's up, Milk? I'm talking to Truck.
I forgot he changed his name on the good old fantasy football.
Yeah.
But I agree with what he says.
Yep, totally. 100%. So anyway, I mean, it's going to be a interesting October. While we're watching playoff baseball and the Giants not in it, where are they going to do? What are they going to do? Farhan is saying he wants a manager in place by early November. Right. Interestingly, they're letting him continue as though he's got the job. It's it's a 1 week thing. Milk beats him up.
Oh, I get it now.
Oh man.
That's good. I forgot. Remember, he
I'm
remembers
going to change
the
my
lactose.
team name tonight. I'm going to become Enzymes. Enzyme Buster.
Buster's Enzymes?
Buster's lactose intolerance.
Oh, man. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I like that.
Good one. Milk. He
pays attention what we have to say. Even when we talk about lactose intolerance.
It's my kryptonite. Milk is coming. Playing milk.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We need a dance head on Kaya.
Correa's body.
Correa. Oh. It's not as funny though. It's more fun with Kapler.
My head would look pretty big on Correa though. It looks like a midget on Kapler's neck and shoulders, man. Put me on Correa, man. I look like King Kong.
We need lazy Larry.
Soy milk, man. Oh man. Hey, let's take some calls. I'm not going to be in long tonight. Let's take anybody who wants to join the chat. We'll have a few calls and then we'll call it a night. I'm not Saturday night. Man, MF watched 8 hours yesterday of YouTube on Krug and the NorCal Sports, man.
Wow.
He
went for the long haul.
Yeah, he went for the long haul there. Yeah, absolutely. How am I wrong if the players don't produce? What are you saying there, Robert? What did Robert say earlier? You can hire the best managers in baseball. You need players to produce. That's right. That's why you need a good.
That's why you need a general manager.
That's why you got to get rid of Farhan. Why would you want Farhan back, Robert, when he put this team together? He literally put this team together. He literally made out the lineups. He literally called the shots. He literally said this was a playoff team. He literally said they were a World Series contender. He literally said that this was the best team they've had on paper. What else you want me to go on and say about this clown? He does not deserve to have another day after tomorrow as the Giants' lead guy. He is so obviously selling
damaged goods.
He's selling himself, and everything he says is just out of nervousness, and he speaks out of both sides of his mouth. He doesn't have a plan. I guarantee you he doesn't have a plan. He wasn't planning on firing Kapler. This all hit him in the last 48 hours, and now he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't have a plan. The Giants should know that. I'm hopeful they're smart enough businessmen to not bring back a guy on a 1-year contract, because what are you doing for 24? What are you selling to the fans if you bring him back for on a 1-year deal? What you're doing is you're telling your fans, hey, look, we're just kind of like we'll get to this down the road in 25, because you're going to have nobody excited about the team. No. You know, you're going to end up blowing up somehow. If you bring in good players, you're going to get rid of some of your best prospects that are the future. If you don't sell off your best players, you're going to get more mediocre players. I just get rid of Farhan, please. And with that, we keep going. I was just about ready to bring in Trock.
And then he disappeared. Yeah.
There he is. And with that, we bring in my kryptonite.
Oh, man.
The milkman.
Okay.
I love that. He's like.
I said,
I had to get another cocktail. I had to get another beer. I was like, oh, I'm going to come on in a bit. I was like a little like halfway full. I got to get reserves. So I come in. The milkman is here for week 4? Week 4 in the fantasy football championships here.
Yeah.
So I've been paying attention. I get smarter every day. Every time I listen to the NorCal Sports Network, I can listen and figure out the good and the bad. And so I found out
Good,
the
Robert.
host Dan is Milk. So I had to change the name, the game within the game. So here I am to defend my crown against Dan. I got to be honest, guys. I've gotten 2 hosts. I've beaten 2 hosts of the NorCal Sports Network. I'm coming for the other 2 now.
That's right.
Dan, you're next. Los is after that. So here it is.
Wow.
You know what I say to that, Troc?
I know. I know what that means. I know. I got experience in what that means.
I got the Eric treatment. I think you could call it the Eric treatment on that one.
Yeah, exactly. When I play Eric, man, Eric's going to be like, hey, man, woo! I love this power, man.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait till we play dinner. Then I get to put together a nice little thumbnail.
Oh, man. Yeah, Eric's got this advantage over me because I'm technically incompetent.
No, you're doing a good job. You know what, Dan? I feel like I've watched you grow since my time I've been here. You've gotten to be just a master of the eject button as well as the technological.
Oh, thanks, Troc. Appreciate it.
Oh my God. The best though, yesterday in mid-sentence, Dan kicks himself. I was like, he just kicked himself. I can't believe he just kicked himself out.
I'm going to throw a curveball right here. Okay.
Uh,
Fingers on them right there.
on the seams.
Gonna break it. There it is. Got all that spinning.
Well, I got one too, Dan.
There you
Let me
go.
show it to you. Can you see it?
Babe Ruth.
There
Yeah,
you
it's
go.
Babe Ruth. But I signed my name on it. I'm not sure the value goes down.
I got
so
Bora right there. I got Bora. I got where's Bora? And then we got Romo. Los D. That one. Where's Los D? Los D is kind of sloppy, but
Man.
yeah, man. Hey, I got all my co-hosts to sign the ball, man. I wish
And
I
it's
could.
amazing.
You know,
I was
it would be
able to
really
sign
great
it being
if
a
I
couple
threw
hundred miles away.
a real curveball and just smashed my camera, just like
try it.
crash.
Dan, do the motion. I'll catch it. There it is.
There you go. Look at that.
Hey,
Man, we are high tech.
Here it comes.
Here.
Ready?
Go ahead, Dan. I'm ready.
There you go.
Oh, man. This is magic.
Man, we are.
Man,
now we
the
just
future.
Now we just need Aaron Rodgers in here, or somebody that looks like Aaron Rodgers to bring out his 1962 ball. There he is.
There
I'll
it
take
is.
one. I got to be a little more. What's up, Strock? I got to be a little more
What's up,
delicate
man?
with this
Kyle?
one. I don't think I'm going to keep it. I don't think I'm going to throw this one around. I'm trying
No,
to
you don't want to throw
Yeah.
that one.
leave this one.
Dad
kinda
won't
in
be.
its
Dad
state.
won't be happy with that.
No.
Keep
He's
the
like,
case
"Where's
on
that
it,
ball?"
man. That was that was cool to see. Keep the case
Yeah,
on
that
it.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bora. But where's Bora and Sun Chips? Bora and Los are on assignment tonight.
Yeah.
They're
and
down.
I don't know if Los is watching, but I kind of added that little signature to kind of get under his skin. Trock, are you going to take it all? You going to take it to the house?
We'll see. There's plenty of season
Who's winning
left.
right now in your guys' league between all you? How many people are in your guys' league, by the way?
12.
Will?
Hold on, I'll bring it up.
Will Martinez is actually leading, but his team is ranked like near the bottom, so I don't think he can hold up.
There's too many teams in it to really make the call. There's a top echelon of I would say 6 teams that look good. I'm hit with a little injury bug, but it's looking
I saw
good.
that, Robert. Go ahead.
There's the
Mike.
records right there. Will Martinez is 3-0. Then you got, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people at 2-1, which is Hiroku, Will B, Trock, Los.
What's the name,
and
Trock?
Milk.
Oh,
It's milk for this week because I'm playing Dan. So
So you guys
And
can
Dan-
change your names weekly or daily?
Could.
anytime you want. Yeah.
Yeah, I might just change it a couple times during the game.
Elementary, my dear Watson. Who the hell is that?
That's elementary, my dear Watson. That must be some kind of saying or something. That's Sean's Proctor's team
Yes,
with
Proctor.
Proctor?
with the because he's got Deshaun Watson.
That's Sherlock Holmes saying, "Elementary, my dear Watson."
Oh yeah, he comes up with sayings like last year he had Cooper Cup, so his team was Cup runneth over. So he's got, he names his team.
Gotcha. He's got Deshaun Watson. Gotcha.
You know what? I don't know about you guys, and I'm not part of it. But now that Gabe is gone, wearing that shirt around the ballpark is just not going to be as bad.
I know.
He's
I
not
know.
there.
Yeah, we may have to do something different now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we may have to maybe make, instead of just wearing a shirt, go shirtless and
look.
shortless and just
my
in your
gosh.
underwear, run across the
God.
field in the middle
Look
of
at
the
this.
game. In the middle
Daniel
of the game.
Berry Sports
If they
Highlights.
get
He
banned from the stadium. That'd be great. Like Sean's buddy that's going to get a fucking tattoo.
that's
bad.
rough. A tattoo.
No.
A tattoo. Daniel Berry, he did Sports Highlight. He just joined the channel not that long ago. He goes, "What's up? Good game, future Giant Chris Taylor." He probably isn't wrong. He probably isn't wrong.
Oh boy.
I could
So-
see that.
I wish I should have entered with you guys. I would have lost, but we're ranking is that in order of who's winning 1 through whatever?
Yeah, it's win-loss record. Yeah.
Where's the win 3? Okay, I see now. Streak. I've never done fantasy. I get buddies that try and get me to do it every single year, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't really care, but I don't know. Maybe next year I'll jump into it. I get buddies that try to fantasy baseball, and I'm like, are you out of your 160? No,
I can't do that either. Los does it.
It's too much. I follow so much baseball. The last thing I want to do is follow fantasy baseball. I mean, that's just me. I'm speaking for myself. But football. I think I'd get into football. I think it'd be kind of fun.
Football's kind of fun because it's weekly. It's not that demanding.
Right.
Whereas this was actually a quiet week. No trades or really anything.
I think everyone's set in what they got now.
So what's
So
what's your purse? Is that
$600 for the
cash right there? Like the waiver budget?
No,
that
that's
has to do with fake money.
That's fake money. What you got to use if you want to get somebody on waivers. Whoever puts the most money in gets the waiver claim. We do have
like a first winner takes all, first, second, third,
first, second, third. 600 to the winner, 200 for second, and 100 for third.
That's cool. I mean, if you guys do this next year, I'll probably jump in on this. I'll get my ass kicked, but I'm not concerned about $75.
Yeah. Well, next year it'd be kind of cool to raise it up to 100 and give.
Yeah, that's fine. $100, I'd do that.
900 to the winner, 200 to the and 100.
We
get that pie up there.
Well,
next week.
Hey, Dan, your 12-6 Clayton Kershaw curveball. Here you go. I don't have one, but there you go. Trock, you can catch it too.
Nice.
All right.
You think Kershaw's done? You think he's done?
I don't know why he wants to keep coming back, but I guess if he's still
back
effective,
issues, right? For the last 3 years.
Longer than that, probably about 5, I think.
5 already? Wow, yeah.
He's been having back issues for a while, but we'll see. Anybody but the Dodgers, right, to win it all.
Rangers.
I'm going to go for the Rangers. Yep, absolutely.
Rangers. Yep.
Rangers.
Oh man,
there we go.
How dumb are the Giants going to look if they win the World Series?
Oh, that would be great.
Forget winning the World Series. How dumb are they going to look if they get into the World Series?
Right.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great. I
Giants
think
already look dumb right now.
I think
Actually,
if
yesterday was
Texas-
the best move they made all season.
Strong.
They're looking bright.
Absolutely.
You're absolutely right.
They're looking. They're on the upswing, I think, already.
Yeah. Hey, if Texas wins the division tomorrow, I would think they've got a really good
Does it
shot.
come down to tomorrow?
Well, they're in the playoffs, but if they win, they automatically get in as the division winner. If they lose and Houston loses, they still win the division. So it's coming down to one game, who wins the division. So,
Well, we'll see tomorrow. Time will tell.
yeah.
All
right, Kyle. Hey, good seeing you. We'll catch up with you later. All right.
Better.
All right.
Dan,
Kyle.
next week you'll see more trades as the first bye weeks happen. And so I think people are going to be caught a little bit with maybe injuries or people are on the same bye and don't got players. I think you'd see a little more action next week.
Yeah, that's right. Buys start. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Main thing is I want to get into the playoffs. Anything can happen.
Absolutely.
But not going to be easy.
You guys going to watch that 6:30 a.m. Toy Story game?
Oh,
that's right. It's Toy Story. I forgot about that. That's
right.
I'm
not getting up for that. Who's it? Jacksonville and who?
Jacksonville and
Atlanta.
Let me see if I have any skin in the game. I don't think I have any skin in the game.
I don't have Jackson and Atlanta. Yep.
I do. I got.
You got Kirk and Lawrence, right?
Yep.
I'm just looking at my team. I can't remember. I don't think I have any Atlanta guys. I think I've made so many trades I can't remember who I have on my team.
Yeah, why would this makes Ohtani even least likely? I mean, it was already like at what 1%, maybe less. Now you got a team in flux. You think he's going to come to this disaster show?
No, I think that's what I was saying in that. You guys were alluding to it, but look, Farhan's on 1 year.
Yeah,
and
he's got no leverage.
Your time is to sign people long term and bring people here. You have talent, you have youth that needs to have a direction. Anything short term right now is the time where you absolutely ex-nay it and think long term. It's like, okay, this didn't work out. We have to think more than this year. I think there's going to be quite a few changes coming on.
Yeah, I think so too. It has to. Although you can't keep this team in the state that it's currently in. There's got to be a whole change and rebuild it back up and see what happens. Matthew wants to know, why is it called a Toy Story game? Because they're going to, I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to, Pixar is somehow going to use Toy Story type characters as football players.
Whoa, is this true?
Playing the game.
Let me look up that if that's true.
What do you got?
What? Okay, hold on.
Is that MF?
Uh-oh.
Let me check Twitter.
I'm checking it right now. Twitter. Hank Schulman, Nick Hundley, and Buster Posey are very tight. Just saying. 6 hours. Put another way, the owners. Let's just hold on here. Let's just open up this and read Hank's instead of let me pull this.
I don't see anything on Twitter.
I think it's a bunch of BS. That's what I think.
What's he saying about? I met Nick Hundley last year at the baseball winter meetings in San Diego.
Yeah, exactly.
Last time Sandy invited me. Okay. Nick Hundley and Buster Posey are very tight. Just saying Hundley has already been a no-nonsense leader in the clubhouse. I'd be surprised if he doesn't get an interview. Same with Vogt. I don't see anything else. Okay, Capital will be back. Put another way, the owner said on multiple occasions Capital will be back. I don't think Zaidi would take such a drastic step, making the owner look like a schmuck just to scapegoat someone for the San Francisco. By the way, Kapler deserves to be heard here. I hope he talks. Yeah, that wasn't Zaidi's decision after that. Exactly. That's a good point. The owner said he'd be back, and then Farhan's going to go fire him over the owner.
And here's another thing. If you're going to fire a manager, aren't you going to have a plan of how you're going to replace him before you fire him?
Yeah, he has no plan.
Exactly. So that's what I'm telling you. It was directed by ownership to tell him, get rid of him. Because the ownership's already got an idea of what's going to happen in the future. That's what I'm thinking.
That's the first domino.
Yeah, it is.
We'll find out more Monday. I think that's when we'll really figure out what's going on.
I think there'll be an announcement on Monday.
Name I just heard tossed out as potential managerial candidate, and he would be certainly going to vote.
It's all going to be speculation.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much out there, and they're all
like I said. The GM has to make that decision, and if we don't know who the GM is, all we're doing is just throwing.
You can't give it to. You just can't give it to Farhan. He has no clue. I mean,
exactly.
Did you hear him in the interview on Twitter today when he was asked about it?
No.
I'll see if I can pull it up because
all right.
While I'm looking here,
because it doesn't make sense. I mean, look at the manager he already hired. What kind of failure that was. I mean, why would you trust this guy? That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, none of this adds up. It doesn't add up. That's why I think.
Oh, he talks a big game. I've been around managerial searches.
Well, he hasn't.
Well, you can tell when you could tell when he was talking yesterday. I think he felt like the more of a man that he's ever felt in his life by firing Kapler. I think even though he was shaking his voice, he was taking the credit for it. He's trying to get the heat off him. It's anytime there's a failing company or management or things are shit rolls downhill, they are absolutely pushing and pointing the finger at every shitty managers. And this is who he is, pointing all the fingers down beneath them. No backbone, nothing. And he's ran his course, and he's going to be done in this team. There's no way he's not coming back. I bet money on it that he's not coming back next year.
I don't think he's coming back. Nope. I don't think if he does come back, it ain't going to be a 1-year deal.
Different position. If he comes back, it's going to be an organizational reassignment.
I don't like Mike Matheny. I'd pass on Mike Matheny. He's already had his run in St. Louis and Kansas City. I'll pass. No, thanks.
How do you get even excited just listening to this guy? He's awful speaker. Just gosh. He's just nauseating. It's like everything he says is just there's so much on Farhan I'm trying to find. I mean,
it'd be funny like if his moves were exciting and he didn't have to say much. And it was just like, oh, that's just he's got his quirks. He just he's a little nerdy, so that's how he interacts. But behind the scenes, he's really pulling the triggers. You haven't seen any of that.
I haven't seen any of that.
He might be so far into his book and like looking at analytics on up and coming players and how they could fit into a team and organizational side of that from minor league to the majors. But I don't see him anything more than a bridge between the minors and major league. I don't see him being a major league insert title here. Like I don't
exactly.
I don't see it at all.
Yep. J10 says Johnson needs to ask him of his plan. You know what, though? I said this yesterday. I have nothing to back this up. This is just what I'm thinking, kind of my opinion. I think Johnson did that last year with Gabe Kapler and Farhan. I think he asked them what was their plan, and this is what they told him, and they lied to him, and I think he's had enough. I don't think Johnson needs to hear anything from Farhan because the guy's a liar. You can't believe anything he says. I really do. I think Johnson gave them another year, or I shouldn't say gave them another year, but gave them the chances to prove themselves. You know, you're telling me, hey, this is what you're going to be doing, and it didn't pan out. Not in any way, shape, or form. And I think Johnson had enough. I mean, we said this, the guy manages trillions of dollars. I mean, he obviously knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
We just don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
No. If you have a guy doing that, managing trillions of dollars, he delegates to those that could be hands-on for him to make it happen. Yep. When it doesn't, you get him out and you get somebody else. I mean, that's how you do it. And these venture capitalists that have this stuff, that's exactly what they do. And they're 500 last year. And they said, okay, we're going to do it this year. You're 500 going to the trade deadline. Yeah, awesome, Menos. And then what do? You don't do anything.
Nothing.
If you have to sense that your job's a little on the line with everything that's going on. It's a win or lose, make or break. Either you have to have the conversations of we're winning with our youth, and you play the youth, which they really didn't,
Right.
or you're trying to make some moves to acquire talent so you can make a push, and that didn't happen either.
Nope.
But
you're right.
if you sit there dead in the water with the deer in the headlights look on you, you get steamrolled, and that's
Yep.
what happened. And now
And then you
they're
see
gone.
all the other guys, although I should say guys, but all the other teams are making moves to make their team better for that very push that you're talking about. And you got Farhan sitting here, AJ Pollock. He's good. He's good. He's good for the clubhouse when the clubhouse was a mess already.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you're trying to win, that was always the argument that I understood from Giants fans to say, hey, we didn't make a move, or we have talent around us because we can make a push with X. But we didn't do that. We didn't show anything. I mean, we got hot in, was it June? We got a little hot, and then we cooled off pretty fast. And after the trade deadline, it was an absolute fall from grace that if there was any there.
Yep.
It was bad. But they didn't do anything as far as managerial or GM moves. Nothing happened.
Yep.
And I think management saw that and said, yeah, we're not doing this. This isn't us. It's either rebuild and try to acquire talent, or we acquire the veteran players to make a push. And we did nothing. And it's done.
Looks like Canelo won in round 7. Right? No, it didn't. It just said drop them. Never mind. I take that back. I'm looking at Twitter. They're showing little clips on Bleacher Report.
No.
Yeah, I don't think that one's probably going to last much longer. If it's not already. That was 6 minutes ago. I don't know if anything's changed since then. But yeah.
All right. I got some stuff from Farhan here. Go ahead and put up, Eric, put up courtesy KBR 680.
Hold on. And who is it? Farhan comments?
Yeah, with the rest of the media in the dugout. You can see Pavlovich sitting next to him and Slusser, and then I see Gerardo just out of the picture a little bit. But
is it KMBR or is it NBC?
This is
it says at the bottom.
KMBR's Twitter. Man, Larry's got as many subscribers as KMBR.
Yeah, how about that? I said Farham. Look at that. Whatever. I'll leave it. Farham.
Put Farhan, yeah.
Farham.
Yeah, he is it. All right. So this is a 27-minute. I'm just playing some splices.
Oh, that's his whole we played it on the live yesterday.
The whole thing. Did you get to the
we played everything all the way to the end.
The manager? Did you hear when you talked about the manager?
I
was that at the end? We got it off a little early yesterday, if I remember, Eric.
No, I left it. I think there was one last question that someone had, and I killed it.
All right, here we go. Let's. You got it ready?
Yeah, it's up.
I'm looking at the other screen. Okay, Farhan. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Let's put this up. Well, we got to share first. That might help.
Hey, real quick, Will Martinez. You know who Kim Ning worked for? You know who she was the tutelage of, right? Ned Coletti. Ned Coletti had her in LA.
Yeah.
We want to have a product that our fans are excited about.
I got it. This isn't.
Our fans
hold on.
Come to the ballpark to see.
And, I did the wrong one.
I recognize that. I think.
Let me pull up the full interview. All right, here.
So, those strategies, like I mentioned to Alex earlier, like we're not a system organization. These are not strategies that we implement and kind of work backwards, filling out the roster. In the case of the rotation, a lot of our use of openers was us kind of doing it on the fly during the season when we had some guys get out to early struggles, and figured it was the best
So
way
it
to
was
right the
us.
ship.
So
And
it
by the
wasn't
way,
Gabe. It was your decision.
we pitched a lot better for a stretch, and after we made some of those adjustments, the team performance improved, and we were headed in the right direction. And
So why didn't you fire
the way we
yourself?
played the last
Because you
month or
were
two, that's brought that back
Kapler
into
was the scapegoat, huh?
into the limelight of, is this a strategy that can get you through 162 games? So again, I don't think we're I don't think we want to rule out strategies that we think can help us win games.
Oh, you're
But
still going to do the
we
same
wanna
thing
have
next
the
year?
most winning team and the best, most compelling product that we can. And that's where I think if we have to evaluate pulling back on those things, I think it's got to be on the table. And
On the
as
table.
far as the rotation in
Off the-
particular
get it-
goes, the guys we're seeing pitch this weekend, win back in Harrison. One of the real positives from this season, I think, has been the development of young players that can take on more prominent roles for us going forward. We want to be developing starting pitchers and everyday position players. Hopefully, just complement those players from outside the organization. So I think as we have a stronger foundation from our farm system, it gives us more of a chance to create that sort of
So
stability.
in a perfect world, you would like 4 or 5 starters to go deep. And
That's John Shea.
Play most of the game.
Yeah, well, we thought we started this year with 6 starters, so maybe that was part of the problem. I mean, for us, it was never really the plan to, use openers. And again, I think we've used openers 30 times this year or something like that. It's basically one rotation spot. So I know it can often be couched as there's 2 starters and then it's an opener, but when you actually look at the numbers, it was probably less than 1 turn of the rotation. But I mean, that was sort of the plan going into this year. Some of the free agents that we signed last offseason, we talked about wanting to create that kind of stability on the roster. And, for me, I think it can create a really strong culture when all 26 players on a roster have a role. So, rather than having a bench player who just plays on Sunday day games, having a guy who knows he's going to be in there against left-handed pitching and has a chance to come off the bench in every game. I actually think that can be a positive culturally because everybody really feels invested and you can create a stronger team dynamic that way. But again, it's a balancing act of that dynamic against guys feeling like this is a role I'm comfortable with. This is a role that's predictable and that gives me the best chance to succeed. So, I do think we have to balance that, get feedback from our players, and move forward the best way we can.
Let's take 2 to 3 more.
Do you have any internal candidates who you expect to interview for this spot, and who might they be?
I think we will. We haven't figured that out quite yet. I mean, this is all very recent, but we really want to consider internal candidates. I think that's important.
Regarding free agency, obviously there's reports about the Giants' reputation maybe being damaged in free agency. With this being such an important year for you and this organization, how do you kind of go about repairing that reputation, and what are the challenges that might come with that when you kind of have basically 1 guaranteed year left here with this organization?
Yeah, I'm not concerned about our reputation with free agents. I don't mean that to sound arrogant or like we're out of touch. As we said earlier, we're talking about the manager search. This is a great ballpark. This is a great city to play in. This is a great organization. And I know a lot of players would be excited to put this uniform on. So, I have conversations with agents all the time about the players they have on this team, what might be happening over the offseason, and I did not expect.
Hold on here. He says there's a lot of players that would be excited to put this uniform on, and he couldn't get anybody that was above mid to come to the Giants. He got Mitch Haniger, he got Conforto, he got Jock because he gave him the $20 million. Look, this guy is completely talking out of his rear. I mean, completely. How does he even, with a straight face, get up there and say I'm not worried about it. In 5 years, he hasn't signed one significant free agent. Well, he did Gosman and Rodon, but he let him walk. He didn't sign. It's like, oh my goodness. More lies here. Here we go.
That it would be that long of a conversation. I guess I wouldn't expect any different from him, but he made it really easy for me, whether he should have or not. Wanted to talk a lot about, what my thoughts were, what my.
Hold on. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. It just completely moved to a different spot. Let me move it back up to where they were at about where
you got Corey. I think you were getting close to the end.
Yeah, you're further up, Dan.
It's 27 minutes here.
Yeah, it said the guy said only 2 or 3 more questions.
We've had a lot of conversations about that. So, to answer your question, I know Greg's addressed it before, and I've gotten support to do what we need to do. But again, that doesn't shouldn't suggest that the board's happy or that Greg's happy with how the team's played the last couple of years.
What he's trying to say.
I know how close you and Gabe have been back to the Dodgers days. At some point, were you resistant to feels like a scapegoating a little bit of Gabe Kapler? Did you have to think that through?
Yeah, that's always difficult, I think, for anybody in this position when you make a move like this, regardless of the personal relationship. You just feel like from a professional standpoint, there's joint responsibility. So, again, I feel responsibility for the fact that we are where we are. We said at the beginning of this season that we viewed ourselves as a playoff team. We expected to be in the playoffs, and we're not going to be in the playoffs. So, again, I feel the responsibility of us coming short of what we expected this year, but I also assume and accept the responsibility of getting us to where we need to be. So, I talked to the players earlier. It was a short conversation, and I think everybody feels a degree of responsibility for us being in this position today, and nobody feels that more than I do.
When looking for a new manager, what qualities do you think you'll try and kind of prioritize? Do you want to go someone more experienced, or maybe someone on the younger side, someone in between? What are you going to try and focus on when trying to look for next year's manager?
Yeah, it's
he has no
too
clue.
early to tell. I've been involved in a handful of managerial searches, and I think you could just have different types of good candidates, and sometimes I think being as open-minded as possible is the best approach, because candidates can surprise you. Somebody that maybe just got in as the last guy on your list winds up being the person that gets the job. So,
like Kapler.
I don't think we have any preconceived notions of that. There are, when you start a process like this, there are people you think of immediately, whether they're people that you've worked with before, or people who have strong reputations in the game. But sometimes as you dig deeper, you wind up with names that you're really excited about and wind up being the right person for the job.
You and Gabe were very in lockstep in a lot of ways with your thinking, and his coaching staff that he mostly picked was the same way. Do you feel, whether with the manager or whether with the next some coaching changes, that there needs to be more different points of view?
I mean, maybe. When I sort of talk about needing to do things differently, having greater separation between the manager, coaching staff, and the front office, might be something we need to look at. I know that for anybody coming in to this situation, any managerial candidate is going to want to understand the degree of autonomy that they're going to have and to put their own imprint on this team. And I think whoever we hire, we're going to want them to put their own imprint on this team. Talk about looking for a new dynamic, and the best way to do that is to give someone a lot of latitude to implement the things they want to implement. So, yeah.
Talk to you.
Just stop it right there for a sec. That means he's been told clearly,
hands off.
You're not running that whoever you bring in or whoever we decide to bring in, if you're staying in this position, you let him run the club. You let him run the club. That's the only shot you have of coming back. You could see it in his face. You could hear it in his voice. He's basically admitting right here in this interview that he ran the club.
Mm-hmm.
He ran the club. And Gabe, I didn't like Gabe, but that kind of sucks that he has to take the fall when he didn't really have a chance to run the club the way he wanted to. Like I said, Kapler played ball. He played at a pretty high level, won a World Series with the Red Sox, did some good things in the game, was a guy that was a late draft pick, like 60th, 70th round, whatever it was, found his way and scrapped his way to become a serviceable ball player. There's no way that Kapler thought the way to win was every time you had a pinch hit for everybody ad nauseum, platoon, not let guys get in any rhythm. He had to be completely frustrated, but he also took orders. He was a guy that was willing to do it. Bochy was not. That's why he left. Bochy resigned because he said, I'm not going to take orders. This is my last year. You brought in this guy. He announced right in spring training, in early spring training, like the beginning of spring training of 19, that this was going to be his last year and he's going to retire. Why? Because he knew after talking to Farhan, he couldn't work with Farhan because he wouldn't be a man. He'd have to, and Farhan was brought in with a mandate to change and get up to the speed with what the Dodgers were doing. And so Farhan sold a bill of goods to Bear that this is how you do it. You get every little micro advantage, including calling up ball players for 1 or 2 games because you can get an advantage if you use your entire 40-man roster and you just win games here and there by, even you win games by giving a guy 1, maybe 2 at-bats in a game. And you get every advantage out of 27 outs. And the Giants bought it hook, line, and sinker, and look what we got.
Hey,
and
Dan,
so,
do you think there's a possibility here that Farhan stays in the position as he is in name only with no power?
Yes.
And they bring in a new GM. They get rid of Pete Petulia, and they actually bring in a GM who actually takes care of the ball club.
Yeah, I think I even texted that to you tonight.
Did you say
that? Let me pull it up. I texted it to you and Senior. Hold on. Pull up my going back. Maybe there it is, right there.
Cool. Read it. Maybe
they bring someone like Ned in as an assistant and title, but he's really oversees Farhan. But Farhan is still spokesman to save face. This would allow Ned not to have to work full time, but he can negotiate with agents and stuff, bring Ned in gradually with becoming full-time in 25 or just a transition to a new president. Lots of ways to work where Farhan doesn't have full autonomy.
There you go. You said it, Dan. I think maybe that's what's going to happen. Maybe they just keep him for that year. He basically, because he's a lame duck, right?
Yeah.
So they're just going to, okay, as your figurehead, yeah, you could do your number crunching. You could do that. You could put your input, but the decision's going to be based on whoever the GM is.
Right. And then, maybe
they're taking the teeth away from him, basically.
Maybe somebody goes and makes the trades and makes the talks to the free agents like Ned. He's working as an assistant, but then they give Farhan the script. Here's what you go out and say. I don't know.
No. I don't want Farhan talking to nobody. Let him stay in his own corner with his computer.
That's the best way. The best way is just put him in the background. But let's get back to this real quick here.
Hey, before you start, real quick, I'm going to bring this up from Lou. Appreciate it, Lou. He says, Dan and Eric, tomorrow being the last game of the year, I wanted to say thanks. It has been a great and fun year.
Yeah, thanks, Lou. Thank you very much. Yeah,
you've been a dedicated supporter, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, I'd probably take $5 million for a year to be a puppet too. I could probably deal with it. $5 million. You want to give me $5 million? Shoot, I'll do it. Give me $5 million, 2 years. I'll sacrifice my ego, my ability to think for myself, and give me $10 million.
And before you hit play, he's talking about how they want to focus on internal candidates. Who in the organization is qualified to be a manager right now internally?
Wotus.
That's it. That's it.
Maybe they might consider Mark Hallberg.
No.
They might.
Come on.
They
How's
might.
that going to change this?
I don't know. He's Buster's. Buster wouldn't let it happen if he didn't think it was good. If he was fit, college roommate,
You know what? You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of Spaceballs. Remember that line? I was your father's brother's uncle's cousin's former roommate. And he says,
What does
what's
that mean?
Make us? Absolutely nothing.
nothing.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's what that means right there.
Yeah. Here we go. Farhan.
Been off a lot over the last couple of years about free agency and trying to bring in some good free agents. How much could potentially a managerial search also be factored in with that and making sure you get somebody who might be appealing to free agents?
Yeah, it's a good question. I do think, it's a pretty universal trait that people want in a manager, to want somebody that players want to play for, whether it's, your own young players and getting them motivated to get the most out of them, or free agents who have heard of, your manager and has good reputation. And so I think that's going to matter a lot, is wanting somebody who has a good reputation among players, can develop a good reputation among players if there's somebody who hasn't had a ton of experience. And I think we should get a pretty good feel for that in our process.
Greg had said 2 weeks ago that he expected both you and Gabe to be back. I guess what happened that made you guys ultimately change directions?
Yeah, I viewed that as really just a measure of support from Greg for both of us. And like I said, this was really a decision and a recommendation that I reached on my own.
Baloney.
And, I think talking through it, Greg decided to accept that recommendation. So I would say that was kind of the dynamic. I think it was a sort of a voicing of support, but, at the end of the day, as we evaluated this, as I evaluated this, I had a recommendation, which he ultimately decided to accept.
You mentioned yesterday.
Has Buster Posey have you had discussions with Buster through this? And do you imagine he could have some sort of semi-formal role through a manager search?
Yeah, I've sort of had a lot of conversations with Buster over, really his kind of time re-entering the organization in his role as a board member. And
The last couple of months.
I sort of value his perspective and opinion really highly. And he's spoken publicly and privately about wanting to help the organization however he can. And, whether it's helping sell the organization to free agents, helping us think through who the next manager will be, helping us think through other adjustments as we, as I said to Alex, kind of evaluate everything. He's going to be really sort of a key component and really influential in all of that. So, I don't want to speak for him, but I, try to get his thoughts on, pretty much everything we do. And I don't see that changing going forward.
You mentioned yesterday, I think, how every game's not the same and can't be played the same. How much did the 2 games in Arizona and that road trip maybe impact your decision about where this team was?
Yeah, I mean, I think I sort of started off this conversation talking about how we played our worst baseball when it mattered the most. And, was that just something that happened? Were we tired? Did we have the wrong vibe in our clubhouse? I think there can be a lot of theories for it. But, certainly to have gone through the ups and downs we did this season, to be, in the number 1 wild card spot in early August and really within reach of the division. And then to go out on that last road trip, still in a wild card spot and still, controlling our own destiny. And then, playing the way we did when we controlled our own destiny.
Hey, Dan, can you pause it real quick?
That was hard to watch for everybody. I think it was hard for the players to go through. It was hard for fans to.
So he sits there and says he doesn't know what it could have been on that road trip. He says they could have been tired or it could have been a vibe. You're the general manager. Shouldn't you know if your players are tired? And shouldn't you know if there's a bad vibe in the clubhouse? You're the man, right? You're the GM. You need to know these things and you need to address them when they need to be addressed. I'm not saying you need to micromanage, but you got to know what's happening with your ball club.
Hey,
I think what you're saying is Farhan is a micromanager. If he's going in, controlling his manager, his skipper, and telling him he has to do this and do that because we are doing this, and he won't let him the freedom to do what he's doing, he's an absolute micromanager and a part of the problem. He also said he doesn't understand why the clubhouse, maybe they were tired. But
how does he not know that? He doesn't know that.
But I put it this way. Well, you have 26 players that you want to keep playing in and out of rotation where no one gets a full day of rest, and you come down to the stretch and nobody's healthy. That's a fucking problem.
Exactly.
You have to rest your
I
player.
said that in the middle of the season.
Player to do it.
These guys are going to get tired. I said this numerous times on the show. Your pitchers are going to, or your bullpen's going to get tired. Your part-time players who are playing almost every day are going to get tired. And that's what happened. It fell apart. But what I mean by micromanaging, yes, he micromanages to an extent, but as a GM, you're supposed to have more of a micro view of what's going on with the team.
He should be lock, stock, and barrel with what's going on. He's got to get a pulse, got to read. He's got to know what's happening in that clubhouse. He can't just be hands off and not have a clue what's going on. He's got to be talking to his manager, constantly what's going on in the clubhouse. And if his manager's giving you crap and you're not seeing performance, you got to get down in there and talk to players and know what's happening.
Yeah, Dan, you called it in the beginning of the season during the offseason. Remember how you said he has no ability to read the room?
No, he doesn't. It's
the same thing with his organization.
He's not a people person. I'm telling you, I've been in sales for my whole life. And, you know, some people, I'm able to read people right away. You know, I mean, if I got an engineer I'm sitting there talking to, I'm not going to waste my time, even if he's got $1 million, if I can tell that I'm not getting to first base with the guy. Just because the guy's got, you know, his mindset, I'm not going to beat in my early career when I was learning, crap, I'd take 6-8 appointments, keep going back and trying to talk to these people. And they make up their mind when they want to make up their mind. Farhan is not a sales type man. He doesn't able to pick up what's happening and he doesn't know how to present. He's just, you can tell he's trying to think of what to say, and that's why he says things that contradict himself. You know, he says it earlier in this interview we're listening to is like, oh, you know, people, I'm not worried one bit about free agencies. People want to come here. And then he says this past year, oh, we didn't get people because it's really hard to get people here. People, you know, that's why we're looking for people that are from the area because people, you know, San Francisco's different. Now he comes on and when his job's, you know, on the line basically, and he's saying, I'm not worried one bit. You didn't sign one position player of a free agency that would play every day for any team. Maybe the A's and the Rockies or something, but come on, you didn't get anybody. And now you're just not worried at all. You know, this is the Giants. Yeah, people are not going to want to come to the Giants because of the way you treated players like Mania and Stripling and, you know, screwed up their careers possibly by giving Mania 10 starts. And the guy was, imagine if he got into a groove. The guy might have been able to put you over the top by himself. He might have been able to win you 5 more games. But this guy just, I just can't even go on with. He's just, here we go. A little bit more of this. This guy's going to make me sleepless tonight.
Watch it was hard for us as an organization to watch. And, you know, again, I think that's sort of really accelerated our view that we need to make difficult decisions and think about things differently. And again, I can't sort of argue against drawing a line between that road trip and how we finish the season and, what we're talking about right now.
Farhan, you spoke about maybe not ruling out strategies that have been ongoing this year. Could you see less platooning, fewer openers, and have you discussed this with ownership about strategy? Because a lot of fans kind of turned off with that style.
Well, we're really religiously following your 10 steps to getting more fans in there. So I know those were on there, right? So I guess that answers the question. But
I didn't tell you to do this with Kate, though.
Yeah. Look, I mentioned we want a product that our fans are excited about and that brings them out to the ballpark. So, those strategies, like I mentioned to Alex earlier, like we're not a system organization. These are not strategies that we implement and kind of work backwards, filling out the roster. In the case of the rotation, a lot of our use of openers was us kind of doing it on the fly during the season when we had some guys get out to early struggles and figured it was the best way to right the ship. And by the way, we pitched a lot better for a stretch. And, after we made some of those adjustments, the team performance improved and we were headed in the right direction. And so
we kept doing it. We wore everybody out.
Brought that back into the
right. It's one thing to temporarily
into the limelight of is this a strategy
and you
that
got
can
to get back to what you're supposed to do.
So, again, I don't think we're, I don't think we want to rule out strategies that we think can help us win games, but we want to have the most winning team and the best.
Okay.
I knew you were going to pause it when you said that.
Oh crap. This man is not changing. What I tell you guys, a tiger does not change his stripes. This man saw the failure of what all this type of ball has done, and he just says we're not going to rule out any strategy. So meaning you're still freaking trying to call the shots here. You're not. You just said you're going to bring a manager in who has
more autonomy. Yep.
To make his own decisions. You don't know who the manager is, but you're not going to rule out any strategies. Which is it, Farhan? Which is it? Are you still going to be running the show and trying to call the shots? Or are you giving a manager, whoever you hire, coming in, give him an autonomy? Because you know what? You bring in a real manager, he's going to take that crap and shove it right up your you-know-what and say, don't talk to me. Get out of my clubhouse. You're not a baseball man. You're an egghead with glasses.
Have a good one, Krister.
You look like me. You look like me. Here, let me put my other glasses on. I'll look like Farhan. Where is it?
I don't know. I think if Dan and Eric had a baby, it might be Farhan. The more I look at this.
I was just gonna say he just got. Did Dan just say that he'll look like Farhan, and he's trying to make me shave my head? Man, what's going on?
You have a little darker, not much, but you're a little darker than me. Look, there we go. Farhan.
Look at this. Oh my God, it's Farhan.
There it is. Farhan. Yeah. No, I'm telling you, this character, I put my other pair of gloves. These are lighter. These are heavy. I put these on because a little clearer. Let me go back to this. But you see what I'm saying, guys? Nobody calls them on this. Yeah. Nobody calls them on this. You say one thing and then you say the other. Wait a minute. You just said autonomy. The manager should have his own autonomy. Then you talk about, how do you know you're not? This doesn't make any sense. You're saying we're not going to rule out any strategy, but you don't know who your manager is. What if the manager says, I don't like that strategy. I don't want an opener. Give me 5 starters, and if I got 4 healthy ones, bring me another starter up from the minors. I'm running with 5 starters, Farhan. I'm not doing opener crap. This is just frustrating me because this guy does not get it. He does not get it. He keeps talking out both sides of his mouth. No strategy. We're going to keep platooning too, right? Oh, but I thought we were going to get more everyday players. I thought you were going to do that last off season.
Yep.
Oh, wait, that didn't work. You know what? This guy has got to go. I mean, he's got to go. I'm just, ugh.
Yeah, I could see him doing like the typical Bay Area deal. Everyone gets a participation trophy. He's going to have 8 position players on one squad and 8 on the other squad. You're going to have 10 pitchers that rotate, and everybody rotates on an even day. These 8 go out in pitching rotation. Odd day, you guys go out, so everybody can play. Everybody wants to feel like they're part of this team. Everyone feels like they can contribute, and that's the most equal way we can contribute with this team and how we go along. That's what this clown is saying. I mean, this is what he's trying to allude to. It's garbage.
It is completely.
It's not winning baseball.
And look at everybody thinks like, oh, wait, we got all these rookies in tonight. Well, look at the lineup, okay? The lineup was Slater, okay, whatever, DH. Matos, Estrada, Flores, Luciano, Bailey, Schmidt, Ramos. Yaz was put in later to right field, and Fitzgerald, Ramos, right field. Okay, what do all those guys have in common? Forget Yaz. Listen, Slater, Matos, Estrada, Flores, Luciano, Bailey, Schmidt, Ramos, Fitzgerald. What do they have in common? Not a hard question, not a trick question.
No, I know.
What do you think it is? Why did they play? Think that way. Why did they play tonight?
Because they're all right-handed.
They're all right-handed. And there was a lefty on the mound. They ain't playing rookies for nothing. I mean, if a right-handed pitcher with pitching tonight, you know who would have been in the lineup? Yaz, Conforto, Jock, Wade. So don't give me this crap that, you're not even trying to play rookies. You're so stupid, Farhan, that you don't even play your rookies when you're out of it. You don't even know how to develop people. You're going to platoon your butt off at no cost. It's unbelievable. So get out of here. Get him out of here, Johnson, Buster, who's ever making this. Get this clown out of here and get somebody that knows how to put the best players on the field. I don't care if they're right or left-handed. Freddie Freeman plays. Mookie Betts plays. They play against Buster Posey when he was here. He played. They don't platoon. This guy, he platoons whatever position. He built the roster. And you're going to trust this clown? I guarantee you. I don't care who you hire as a manager. If Farhan's running the show, season tickets are going to go further down. Market. I mean, this is a joke.
How about this too? I'm tired. Why is the media going to Yaz and Slater for comments on freaking Kapler? They're platoon players. They're not. Where's the interviews of Crawford? How come they didn't interview Crawford about what's going on with Kapler? How come they're not interviewing maybe someone like Flores who's been around for quite a while? How can they interview him? They got Webb. I give them that. But these guys
I'm going to take 10 sleeping pills tonight after this Farhan interview. And I'm going to get so relaxed that I'll probably wake up at 4:00 in the afternoon and miss what happened, and my team will explode tomorrow.
Hey, don't forget the final game tomorrow is at 12:00. All games start at the same time.
Oh, baseball?
Yeah.
Oh, well, shoot, man. I'll tell you what, the Niner game's on at 1:00. At least I get to see Crawford start at noon. But the other thing is, what time's the Buffalo Miami game? That's going to be so cool to watch. That's a shootout tomorrow.
They flex that. Is that on nighttime?
10 in the morning. 10 in the morning.
No, I gotta watch that.
Oh, hey, I got a good bet for everybody. You guys want to bet? You want my betting tip for the night?
Yeah.
This one via Sean Proctor. Take a 2-team parlay and tease the what game was it? Shoot. Hold on. I know the Patriots and Oh, yeah. Tease the Chiefs-Jets. Chiefs are favored by 8.5. Tease it, 6 points. Make them a 2.5-point favorite. And then the Cowboys-Patriots are a 6-point. Cowboys 6-point favorite. Tease it, 6 points, make it a pick'em game. All the Chiefs have to do is beat the Jets by 3 and you'll win your bet. Because you make the other game a pick'em. So whoever wins, you're golden. Back to the interview, and then we're out of here.
Most compelling product that we can. And that's where I think if we have to evaluate pulling back on those things, I think it's got to be on the table. And as far as the rotation in particular goes,
wait a minute. Did he say it had to be on the table? Did he just say it had to be on the table?
I didn't even pay attention. I was typing. What did he say?
Let me go back a few seconds. I think he said those strategies have to be on the table. Hold on here. Let me pull that back. That was at about 20.
Good. There, that's good.
Help us win games, but we want to have the most winning team and the best, most compelling product that we can. And that's where I think if we have to evaluate pulling back on those things, I think it's got to be on the table. And as far as the rotation in particular goes, the guys we're seeing pitch this weekend, Wynn, Beck, and Harrison, one of the real positives from this season, I think, has been the development of young players that can take on more prominent roles for us going forward. We want to be developing starting pitchers and everyday position players, and hopefully just complement those players from outside the organization. So I think as we have a stronger foundation from our farm system, it gives us more of a chance to create that sort of stability.
So in a perfect world, you would like 4 or 5 starters, and a lineup full of guys who play most of the game.
Yeah, well, we thought we started this year with 6 starters, so maybe that was part of the problem. I mean, for us, it was never really the plan to, use openers. And again, I think we've used openers 30 times this year or something, right? Like that. It's basically one. Guys feeling like this is a role I'm comfortable with. This is a role that's predictable and that gives me the best chance to succeed. So I do think we have to balance that, get feedback from our players, and move forward the best way we can.
Let's take 2 to 3 more.
Do you have any internal candidates who you expect to interview for this spot, and who might they be?
I think we will. We haven't figured that out quite yet. I mean, this is all very recent, but we really want to consider internal candidates. I think that's important.
Regarding free agency, obviously there's reports about the Giants' reputation maybe being damaged in free agency.
I've already heard that.
World Series wins and all.
Yeah, I think it's going to be emotional for a lot of people on Sunday.
About Crawford.
It's I just, when he kind of came back up into the clubhouse in Arizona, I was actually there, and I kind of saw him kind of taking his jersey off and changing his. I was thinking, I just had really a feeling of dread because I know how important.
Why are you laughing?
It is for him to finish the season.
Why is he laughing there?
Is reminiscing about watching Crawford take his shirt off.
Yeah,
maybe it's just a nervous twitch for him.
It is because he doesn't. That's why I'm saying, hey, look. I have nothing personal against the man. Probably a super nice man, probably a great father, family man, husband, all that. Nothing personal against Farhan. This is a business. Okay? Farhan is good at what he does behind the scenes. He obviously was good enough to get promoted a couple times from the A's to the Dodgers to the Giants, stepping up. He just stepped too far up above his head. That's all. He's not in a position that he's cut out for. Just put him back in the background, let him do his thing, pay him what you're going to pay him. And if he wants to move on, let him move on. But tell him, hey, look, we like you in the organization. We just think, we're restructuring what we're doing. We want you here. We want you in this role because we feel that this is where you contribute to us and make us much better. But we're going to restructure the deal, the organization, and we're going to bring in a different face that leads as president of baseball ops. That's all you do. And if he says, well, thank you, I'm not interested, and move on, okay, goodbye. But don't keep him in this position. It's not a bad thing. Sometimes people get put in, get moved around because they're just not cut out. Look, I managed. I was a salesperson. I was good in sales. I managed. I did pretty good at sales as a manager. But if you wanted me to manage today, heck no. I don't want to manage people anymore. I got to manage this guy, you know? And no, that was just too good.
That was good. Yes.
I mean, if you asked me to take over a manager's job and manage 10 people, 12 people at this point in my life, I'm not interested. Not in sales, because you gotta micromanage. You gotta stay on top of guys, you know. I don't want it. But this guy Farhan, like I said, he's obviously does
in over his head.
He's over his head, but there is a place for him in the game. And I think the Giants would be smart to just say, look, we're restructuring the organization. We're not firing you. We're just moving you to a different position. How many times has that happened in an organization where people move people around? Happens every day.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you know, you see it. I mean, you probably saw it in the military, right, Eric?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it just happens. It's just part of life. I mean, gosh, I remember taking this one job one time in my career, and it was a sales manager. I moved down to Louisiana, and I thought I was moving down there to run the sales. The guy wanted me to run like all these office, you know, proposals and setting up systems and all this. And it's like, that's not me, man. I don't do that. I get people motivated. I get them to sell more. I teach them, you know, how to sell. I motivate them. I correct them when they need corrected. But you're telling me to go put in all these systems? The guy was going to fire me after like 2 months because I was over my head in what he wanted. There's no way, you know, just wasn't me.
Hey, Dan, you talk about that in the sales aspect. I'm a salesman myself, and is there any incentive with Farhan's managerial style? If you're going to platoon players and you need people to come into an organization, they're going to come over to try to benefit themselves in the way of performing on the field. And to perform on the field, you need reps, right? So if I want to have RBIs, triples, home runs on my resume, if I'm signing a 1-year deal or a short-term deal or something where I'm in the middle of my career or transition career, there's no way you want to come to the Giants with this management. And if you do, you know you're not going to be there for long, or you're going to get your reps cut. And that's one thing you don't want when you're coming in.
You're not going to attract your good players like Bellinger, because Bellinger would have been platooned and he would have lost out on millions, literally millions of dollars, like probably 50+ million or more. The guys you're going to attract in a system, what Farhan does is you're going to attract the guys that are middle of the road players that don't get a lot of opportunity with other clubs, knowing they're going to get opportunity with the Giants, and they're going to get at bats maybe every game because they're going to either face, if they're right-handed, they're going to face the lefty. And if it's their turn where they're facing a righty and there's a bench and there's a pinch hit opportunity, they're going to get up. So they're going to be constantly getting more bats, but they're not good players. And we see that the Giants are surrounded with, I mean, it's just all over the team.
And what's crazy is you're talking about, you know, taking reps away from players. The one strength the Giants had was what? Pitching and attracting starting pitching. And this year, they did everything they can to get rid of that strength and turn it into a weakness by doing all this opener and all this other bull crap.
Right.
I mean, it's just, like you said, Dan, he's got to go.
Got to go.
He's got to go.
Okay, yeah. Let's see.
That reminds me, here's a story. We were staying on base, and my daughter was playing with her friend, and I guess another friend came over, and I guess the other friend had left like $5 on the porch, and the kid got it, and all of a sudden he starts running, and all the last words I heard him say is, "I gots to go." We're like, what was that all about? And then I talked to the other friend of my daughter's, and he's like, "Man, my money's gone." I was like, "I think that kid took it." And he went running after him. That was great.
Oh man.
Ramos option today for Crawford. Imagine that. It wouldn't be fitting to end the season than having an option Ramos back to AAA.
They didn't do that.
That's what Mark Graves says.
Talk about why not option Beck? He's not coming to pitch anymore.
Right.
You just optioned a guy. Oh gosh. You know why? They're just using whatever. This guy, per lack of I'm reading something here.
That's fine. So I say, Dan, if you know that as far as a payment and the sell side, what they want is those golden handcuffs. The guys just come in and get their check with no incentive to do better, but just to come out and fill a position so butts can come in the seats. That's it.
Yep. Who said this?
Might be on Twitter. I'm gonna check.
No, I saw somebody make a comment about lying here. Nervous twitch or something.
Yep, there it is. Alex Pavovich. Looks like Heliot Ramos will be optioned to clear roster spot for Brandon Crawford return tomorrow. Ramos plans to play winter ball. What? When's the last time a Giants player played winter ball? They used to be all the time, remember? And when the season ended, there would be players that would go out and play winter ball. You haven't heard about that in years in this organization.
I tell you, Ramos is just like, he'll probably get traded if Farhan, because Farhan doesn't like him, obviously. Where was that comment? Somebody made a comment about being nervous. Where the heck did I see that?
There's a couple of them, Dan.
Yeah. Anyway,
they're up a bit.
Yeah, I'm not going to keep digging. What's at the end of this here before we
and be out there for our fans? And I immediately started doing the math on on what 10 days would be, and when he'd be able to possibly come back. So I think it's going to be a really special day on Sunday for him to, again, he's trending well. I think he's going to be able to get out there and play. And, it's a really, I think, positive and exciting storyline for everybody to get a chance to recognize him for everything he's done.
Farhan, what would you say is the biggest lesson that you can maybe take away from the season, either just about kind of like you, this job, this game, just everything that's happened this year?
Who is that talking?
What's like
sounds like Emmerman
this year?
No, that's not Emmerman.
Yeah, I mean,
is it
I guess it's not a new lesson, but game's humbling, and it's unpredictable. And again, that's not to absolve responsibility, but we finished 500 last year. We added a lot of players we were excited about. We've had a really good rookie crop that's contributed a lot, and it's hard to put all those pieces together and make sense of being here and having the conversation we're having now. So, I think just kind of being prepared for different things to unfold. You just can't predict how these things are going to go. You just prepare the best you can, put the best product on the field that you can. And I think, as Alex has brought up a couple of times, we talked about just being open and flexible to different ideas and different perspectives is something I'm going to have to take going forward. And I think as an organization, we're going to have to as well.
Last one, Mark.
Yeah. What's your timetable?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find some October coming up, playoffs, World Series, and all that. When do you want to have someone in place?
That's Marty.
Free agency will be right behind you.
Exactly. I think it's really important for us to have someone in place by the start of free agency. And I know that's still a ways away. Again, we don't have a list, so this is not in reference to anybody specific, but obviously if we consider candidates with playoff teams, sometimes the scheduling of that can be complicated, but without question, again, to Susan's point, when we start free agency, we want to have someone in place who can help us go out and recruit players we want to see here next year.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm tired now.
You need a glass of milk.
A glass of milk. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be right up there.
Yep. You just pulled it right there. You beat me to it. Glass of milk, man.
Oh man,
I'm just gonna let this run all night. In fact, I'm out of here, guys. Leave this on. See how many people stay. We got 80 in there right now. How many people will stay on? Just listen to this for the next 7 hours. Wake up and watch the football game. I'm still at 80. Are we going to go to 81?
I'll never forget that show that we had. Oh my God. Oh, the damn, what was it? The draft and the Eldridge table. Oh my God. That was probably one of the funniest shows we've ever had.
Oh, when I said the table.
Oh, he's been at that table too long.
We lost 3 right there with.
Yeah.
That's a lot of gas, Nick. Man, numbers dropping. Hey, maybe what can we bring up in here to? Was there anything funny this year?
Oh my gosh,
this was kind of funny.
Oh,
he missed third.
Hey, hey.
There he is. Left, right, left, left. Hit.
Your left, right. Hey, hey, no, hey. You fucking idiot, man.
Wait,
what are you doing?
I know he missed third. Let me show it. He missed third. He never touched the bag.
No way. Dumbass. What a dumbass.
The glove doesn't count.
No. Look at this again.
Man.
This is Correa saying he missed third because he never touched it with his foot. He saw him. I don't think he touched third, Gabe. Go out there. Oh man. Gabe, I really don't think he touched third base.
I think Correa's playing chess, buds. I think it's not checkers. He knew you could get rid of Kapler and slide in for that managerial. The writing was on the wall. It's just time to set him up, and so he knew his time would come.
Did you see when he pushed that guy out of the way when he's going up the stairs?
Oh, Correa?
No, Kapler. He just pushed the guy out of the way with his arm.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, get the fuck out of my way. I got.
You mean when he pushed Correa out?
No, watch. No. Please play it.
Correa was working the phone.
Yeah, Correa was on the phone. Remember, Mr. Kai, I don't know Correa.
This one?
Yeah, watch.
Yeah,
You'll see. It's coming up. Let me get rid of that here. Not yet. Okay, it's gonna have to wait till it's right
when they start waving their hands.
Look at that
replay of them hitting the bag, and then it'll show.
Look at the Braves coach out there going, "What are you guys doing?
What are you doing?" Here comes the hey. It's this guy right? It's the guy right there that's standing on the stairs. Whoever the hell that guy is, one of the 17 coach. Maybe he's the breathing coach. I don't know. Watch. Get the fuck
out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. I got work to do, man.
We need something of good. Let's watch this hit.
There we go.
Did you get that, Eric?
There we go. As Kruko would say, he got both cheeks into that one.
Did you get that? Did you hear me?
No, it muted you when you play it. No, you're not muted. It's just when you play the video.
That's Charlie Softball Games.
Yep.
That's his last name. Charlie Softball Game.
Charlie Softball.
Let's see this one. Oh, it does mute me. I got to unmute me. Okay. Unmute me.
Yeah. That was a nice gapper right there, right center. Nice.
Let's watch this one again. I'm gonna announce it.
You're going to announce it? Go for it.
I'm gonna
Make sure you
announce it.
unmute yourself right
Yeah,
away.
who do we got? What do we go? Charlie. We'll just call him Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie.
I know his last name, but I won't say it. So, all right. So here we go. We got. Okay, I got it. Here, we're gonna have some fun here. All right. Now batting, number 8, Charlie Pence. And he looks in for the pitch. Pence waving the bat. He looks in. There's a drive to deep right center field. That one's all off the wall. That one's going to score 3. Here comes 1 run. Here comes 2. Here comes a 3rd run. Pence is in with a double. Whoa, smoked it. Cleared the bases. There we go.
It should have took 3rd.
There you go. You know what you should have said? 1 run scores. 2 run scores.
Yeah,
they all score.
Yeah, I know. I have to do that one more time. Let me see if I can do that one more time.
Come on, man.
All right. Pence looking out at him. Pitcher gets ready, set, and winds. There's a drive, deep right field. That's going to land him right center. 1 run scored. Here comes another 2-run score. Coming around 3rd. 3-run score. It's a bases loaded, clearing double for Charlie Pence. All right. Wow. I'm calling him Charlie Pence because.
Or how about call him Charlie softball games?
Charlie softball games, yeah. That's senior softball game's son, by the way.
Yep.
If anybody didn't know that, that was man. He's 10 years old. The guy can hit. Telling you, the guy's got a future.
The kid can hit.
The kid can hit. So, but that's about it. We've gone 2 hours, plenty of time. We'll be back tomorrow for the final game of the season, but we won't probably come on until, oh gosh, games at 12, but Niner games going on 1 to 4. I'm not getting away from the Niner games to talk about the Giants. We'll come on. Let's come on tomorrow night after. We'll wrap it up. Come on tonight about 8:30, 9 o'clock after Sunday night football. Who's playing Sunday night football tomorrow?
Not sure. Okay. Hey, Dad, we might want to make sure your calendar is clear for Monday because we may have an announcement.
Chiefs Jets.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Chiefs Jets.
Chiefs Jets for
Sunday night. I don't have anybody in that game unless I started the receiver, Rice, which I'm not going to do. Oh, that's right. I'm playing you. Hey, I got something for you. Hey, I see Eckler's looks like he's out, huh?
He's going to be out. And they got to bye next week, so he'll be out.
Yeah, but Truck's got Kelsey, though.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, I do. Yes, I do.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
I got K Swift, bro.
K Swift?
Oh, that's right. You did get him wrong.
Who?
Kelsey. Do you see the thing? Kelsey's dating Taylor Swift.
Oh, Swift. I thought you
Kelsey
meant
Swift.
I thought you meant the running back Swift.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
No.
So we'll bring
Monday's going to be something. I think something may happen on Monday, Dan. So hopefully you're not too busy.
I think we'll come on tomorrow night and we will have I think we'll have to bring We'll have to bring Trock, known as Milk, back in for tomorrow night.
Dan's kryptonite.
And I think after tomorrow's defeat, no Austin Eckler, You're going to see this grown man. May not see him because his sunglasses are going to be on, but you know what he's going to be hiding?
The tears.
He's going to be hiding this. Wait a minute.
That sounds very muted. How about this?
You're going to hear Trock, ladies and gentlemen, after tomorrow's defeat. Yes.
It could be. It could be. Although hearing the baby cry, does it make you lactate, Dan? Get a milk action?
All right. How about this crying?
Look at this.
There we go.
What the hell is this?
That's live footage of Kapler.
Farhan. Oh, Kapler.
All right, man. Adios, Dodger Dan going into ring with a chair to Eric. Woo! Oh, you playing?
Gonna be a good game. It is. I mean, we got a good matchup going.
Oh, let me see. I hope, Eric, I'm pulling for you.
Oh, thanks for the support.
I am pulling for you.
The first time.
I am pulling for you. I want to see Hiroku go down. This guy sends me the biggest, crappiest trades. I send him legitimate trades. I'm talking to you, Hiroku. You know it. I'm talking to you right now. I'm talking to you, Hiroku. I'm telling you. I give you good trades, and you come back with these bullshit BS trades. I should pull up some of the trades he's actually sent me. 5 guys, 3 of them off of his bench for like 3 of my top players. Yeah, I want Chase and Pollard. That's right. I offered you Taylor. I offered you Devontae Smith. I offered you Derrick Henry. I offered you 1 or 2 more, like 4 for 2, I think it was. All 3 big-time starters. You'd get more points. That's all right. I'll go with what I got. We'll see where it goes. Next week, Jonathan Taylor's hopefully off the PUP and ready to play next week, week 5. So, all right, man. For Trock, better known as Milk, for the next 21 hours. He'll change that name Sunday night when Kelsey's goes out of the game with a Tayloritis or something.
Oh, whoa. Hey, Dan.
Might be the Swifties.
Kapler has a new Instagram.
Not the new one. Not the one I commented on today.
Senior saying.
Oh.
He said.
You mentioned eating burger. Oh, yeah, I saw that one. I commented on that in Twitter today. Did you hear what I said? Did you see that one?
No.
Show you real quick, then we'll close.
Hey, Matthew, I did that last night. I don't know if I could do it again. Kind of rough on the throat.
Hey, what do we got out of here? Get out of the way there.
Senior said, yeah, that's the one.
The one I commented on? This one right here. And this is, I'll show you real quick. This is how I honestly feel. You guys know how I feel. This is it. Says, what the heck? What happened there? There it is. Can you guys see that?
Not yet. There it is. Nope.
All
there.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so it says, I was one of Gabe's loudest critics, and I'm glad to see him gone. That being said, I never wish bad on his future as a human being and wish him well. Seems like a good man, but was not right for the job. Maybe he would have been better given more autonomy. Gabe was the symptom, but Farhan is the disease. Farhan has to go as he's the one responsible for this boring brand of baseball and platooning. I wish more media would see this and demand change at the very top. Farhan is a good number 2 man or behind-the-scenes guy, but not the lead guy. He clearly has no plan or clue how to run an organization. And this was Gabe's different tweets about Instagram copy about
A
how he
diatribe.
misses the players, coaches, clubhouse. He drove home or rode his bike home from the stadium to North Beach, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that was some Kapler stuff.
You should have tagged Food Network in there.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with Gabe as a person. I mean, I think he's odd and he's weird. My point is there's plenty of weird people out in the world. It's just it doesn't fit being the manager of a baseball team. What he was doing. That was my take the whole time. So because it's not a relatable thing to the average everyday ball player. They just don't relate to that weirdness and food reviews and just strange, but hey, Gabe's Gabe. So let him be Gabe and, wish him well, wish Gabe lands on his feet. He'll be fine. He's young. He's, he'll probably be in the media somewhere. So yeah, Dan, you're a weirdo. Eric, you take the cake. Thanks, Eddie. That can land you in the bunker.
I resemble that remark.
All right. Hey guys, we'll see you tomorrow night, 8:30, 9 o'clock. Come on after Sunday night football. Probably about 8:30. We'll break down Sunday's games. We'll break down the Giants, and then it's going to be some playoff coverage starting.
Yeah, playoff baseball. How about that? That's the best baseball too, man.
We'll
playoff baseball is
we'll
something
talk
else.
playoff baseball and we'll wrap it up and then we'll go into the off season. We'll be here for you. NorCal Sports Network, everybody. We made it through after tomorrow, 162. I think we covered almost every game.
We damn near did every game. We've only missed a couple, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I mean, we should have missed half the season, but trying to cover this team was tough. But thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are great, man. Really, we really appreciate all you guys.
Absolutely. Yep.
And, if it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't be doing this because there'd be nobody. We wouldn't be talking to anybody.
We'd be just as weird as Kapler sitting here talking to ourselves.
Yeah. Hey, what do you think, Glass? You think the Giants might do well this year? I don't know. The glass it's not even half full. It looks like it's
playoffs. Playoffs.
There we go. And the Giants close out their season and lost too many games to the worst teams in baseball. There we go.
Very good.
All right, guys. Have a great one. Cut us out of here with the music. Arrivederci, ciao.